like writing sketch comedy together.
Oh,
We just like
wow.
instantly clicked and we're like, we have the same sense of humor and this is so funny. And then, well, I moved back to Australia after a year, and he stayed on for a bit. But then when we were both eventually back in Brisbane, like a few years later, we were both just like at his parents' house at Perigian Beach, and we were just like in the ocean. It was just such a like chill time. And then we shot our first TikTok. Well, actually, Nick had TikTok for a few years, or maybe I don't know, a year or something. And I was like, I'm actually a serious actress. Like, I don't mess
I'm not
about with
doing that.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's
And so
funny.
I was like so judgmental towards TikTok. I was like, no, I'm not giving it my details. And my boyfriend Tom had TikTok and I was like, oh, you're so immature. and
Look at
then
you now.
and then I know. Oh my God. So at the beach, so when we were in America, actually, we would always make each other laugh by like mocking Americans, basically.
Yes.
Just like I don't know if you remember, our very first video was
Yeah.
like what American TV sounds like to Aussies.
Yeah.
And it's just like so much jargon and they're so over descriptive
Yeah.
and use every word. You're like, do you really? Is it necessary?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, my Aunt Mackenzie's alimony in Salt Lake City down in Tallahassee. And you're like that's what it sounds like to
What
us.
does that even mean? Yeah.
Exactly. So you'd always do that, like walking around the streets of New York, like doing that and like just making each other laugh. And then Nick, when we were at the beach one day, was like, we should just film that. And like we put it on his TikTok.
Wow.
And when I tell you, it went viral.
Viral. Yeah. Yeah, I reckon I
It
saw
just like,
that video.
yeah, I don't know. It's just so funny to be like, we went viral, but like I had
But you
no
did,
idea
yeah.
about that stuff. And like we literally went to bed. It was one of those things we went to bed and we woke up and we were like, oh my God, like millions of people
That
are
is
loving this.
amazing.
And
Wow.
I just was like, this is so exciting. And like
Yeah.
it was just a really nice sort of relief after like the rejection of acting
Acting,
and then
yeah. And the seriousness
and to
kind
sort
of.
of exactly and like
Mm.
it's so wanky and like to just have
Mm.
fun and people responding the best to that and like getting
Yeah.
like a win out of that. I was like, wow, this is so easy and it just feels so much more fun. Like it was stressing me out, like trying
Yeah.
to audition and stuff. And I was like, surely this and so like of course I didn't think anything of that. It was like one video with Nick being silly. And then we kept doing parts to that. He's so cute. I just want to smell his head. um and so we just kept doing that and then yeah, I don't know, it just sort of led on from there and then I eventually got my own account and posted videos and just I think
It
it's
kept
like
growing.
honestly luck. Like it is lucky if like the algorithm favors you
Yeah.
and like people respond well to your content and yeah, and my boyfriend Tom is like a huge component as well. He's always like just been naturally funny. I hate him for that because he's never trained, whereas I've spent like thousands on trying to be funny. And he's just like a pro at writing sketches and
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
yeah, so
He
now
helps.
he's actually quit his job.
Oh,
He was like
no way.
he had a normal person job of like being a consultant and would like consult other people. And I was like, hey, how about you
You consult
consult
me.
me? Because like I'd be like, hey, can you help me like write this and film
Yeah.
it? And like I'd be like begging him after a big day of work. And then
Yeah.
last December we just like took the risk and yeah, he quit his job and now he works for me. So
Wow.
and we write together and he's so good to just like have a person to work with.
So does
And
he
yeah, and
he
then he
films a
films
lot
me.
of your videos? I think I kind of
Yeah,
assumed I
all
could
of
always hear
them.
the voice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. People actually think it's Nick because in the early
It
days
used to be,
we did
yeah.
like when we lived in the same city, it used to be and like Tom would be at his job. So Nick and
Yeah.
I were like creating a lot together. But now Nick lives in Melbourne and like I'm in Brisbane right now. So yeah, we actually
Yeah.
don't film as much. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
about
how do you find
yeah.
working with your partner? Because obviously that's totally different.
It's actually great. Like
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
such the kind of creative that I need someone else. I like need to parallel
Yeah.
play.
Bounce off
I'm
people.
so
Yeah.
bad with self discipline and just like
Mm.
I wish I could just like lock myself away and write for 8 hours and be like lost in the work, but I actually need to be like silly with someone, and then I'm like, and then that's how I get inspired.
Yeah,
So it's so helpful having Tom, because it's actually quite lonely as
it
well.
would be.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have a collaborative work. You're not going to an office and have co-workers sort of thing, like a
Yeah.
community. It can be really isolating, just like filming in your bedroom. So
Yeah. I guess I've never really thought about that because you have such an audience, but it's all very
yeah, and
parasocial. Yeah.
exactly. It's like, yeah, ironic. You've got like thousands of people that sort of,
Mm.
well, like your stuff, but you've never actually talked to them or met them,
Yeah,
or
that's so
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. So no,
So,
it's really nice having him, and he yeah, it's good to like bounce ideas off each other, and I trust his
yeah,
opinion. So which is another, it's a relief that I can like trust his sense of humor sort of, and be like, and we're
definitely.
very honest with each other. Well, he sure is. I when I am like, how about this? And he's
That's
like,
not
all right.
funny.
And I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's so important. And I guess you have the same goal as well. So, like he has your best
Exactly.
interests at heart as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's really a gift. Yeah.
do you have a favorite character that you've done or a favorite sketch on TikTok? Because
Yes.
yeah, you have so many now.
The Pharaoh niece makes me laugh
I
every
love,
time.
yeah. Those ones are really
It's
good.
so um feral. I can't even think of
Yeah,
another word.
it
Like,
must be really
and
fun to play.
it honestly is. And it's like kind of a bit fucked up, since like Tom is my boyfriend but plays the uncle. Like, and I'll like get on my knees with my tummy out and be like, hey, Kim, and he's like, oh god.
Yeah, there's nothing hot about that one.
No, I'm like, do you still find me attractive? Well, actually, the worst is when he does it, and I'm like, ew. It gives me instant ick. And he's like, what? Why do you always get to do it?
Oh, yes. I'll have to say from your characters, I think it was Barbara, and she's like a real estate agent.
Oh, tours with tit.
Towards with tit. Sorry, I don't know why in
Tours
my
with
head
tit.
she's Barbara.
Barbara's very
She
similar
seems
to
like a
that kind of.
Barbara.
Is
Yeah.
she does, doesn't she? Yes. Oh, that's funny you say that, because I
I love
loved
her.
her as well, but does terribly on TikTok. It's like
Really?
too much of a long form character for such a like
Yeah.
quick
Maybe
platform.
like a younger audience.
Yeah, it almost needs to be like its own thing and series, if I could take the time to
Yeah,
like
that
write a
would be
proper sketch or
entertaining.
like a script.
Yeah.
Because I truly do love her, but very few people do. So
Wow,
like
that's really
Tom, like
interesting that
she's
I
like not
vibe with her.
funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
I find her funny. And
Yeah.
I love
Thank you.
well, I hate love the
Mm.
really rich um person in the office.
Co-worker?
No, the one that's
Yes.
yeah, yeah. The one that's like
The
giving
co-workers
unsolicited
who's
advice
in another
on
tax bracket.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, love her.
Yes.
Hate
Everyone
her.
does sort of hate love her. She
Yeah.
means well, but
She means
so
well, but
out
you
of
would want to punch her if you sat next to that every day.
yeah, exactly. That's called sort of the essence of a lot of the characters, is like they mean
Yeah.
well.